Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Avoid Mike, aka Michael, man. Welcome back to another video. Guys, I know it's been a minute since I posted. Very sorry about that. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to continue on doing YouTube and stuff like that, and I finally made the decision of I want to start doing this and really locking in and posting one video a week. Today's topic, what we're going to be talking about, man, is talking about the goods and bads of going to college, if we still need it, if it's still important in the workforce, and what's my opinions. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright guys, so before we start here, let's real quick take a step back and talk about yourselves, right? First question you should ask, that is above all, is what career do I want to get into before you even start school? I feel like that's the most important questions you got to get into, because then you don't waste time and you stay focused on a goal. After answering the first question, guys, of what career path you want, start asking yourself, what do I need to actually be successful in there? I feel like that's one big thing that a lot of people don't do research on, is understanding what does your field need you to have to be successful in it. That could be licenses, certifications, XYZ, right? A lot of people think just going to college is going to provide everything for you. Sadly, they don't. You got to make sure that you actually look into it and actually be successful to reach your goal. For example, I was about to spend 4 years of college to get myself an aviation degree, but it was just a piece of paper for aviation, nothing else. I wasn't going to get no licenses, no certifications. After the first semester of me learning that, I dropped out and I went to technical school. It was for me, you know. In technical school, they're giving me the licenses I need and certifications I need to actually become a mechanic for aviation. And I think that's so important, right, to actually do your research to make sure that you actually have the resources to, proceed into that career field. Because you're going to be spending 4 years of college just to spend so much money and not be able to do anything in your field, right? It's like those guys that do 4 years of college and still work at McDonald's. It's crazy, man. The third and final question that I would say for you to ask yourself is there going to be work for me after this college stuff? What I mean about that is, your market saturated? Is there a lot of people going for the same position that you're going to go for, like cybersecurity and what else, coding? Those two positions, there's a lot of job openings per year, but there's also double the amount of people trying to get into those positions. So it's very competitive, the market, and very hard to get into. The reason why I say to look in those type of things, because it's going to be very demotivating after you finish college and you won't be able to find work, because everyone wants people with experience or people with some sort of things to back them up with. Sadly, not a lot of people in college go for internships and stuff like that, because they have zero pay, or what's called, they pay very little. But sadly, that stuff does cut in at the end of the day, and to see if you get work or not. So I think that's also the third thing that you should look into, is see how much work there is in the world, to see if that would be benefit for you. Alright guys, we just asked ourselves the three big questions of what career we want, how to achieve it, and is there going to be a market for us. Now let's start getting into the nitty gritty of actually getting into the pathways to get to that goal. We have college, technical college, and work. Now I'm going to be going through pros and cons for all three of these pathways to see what fits you the best to achieve your goal. One is going to be slower, one is going to be faster, and one is going to be in the middle. Now we're going to be talking about it right now. Let's start getting into it. Okay guys, so let's start talking about the most used path that high schoolers use after they graduate from high school, and that is college. Some of the pros that you have here is structured learning, access to scholarships, very underrated. I feel like we got to get into that a little bit deeper, and networking with a bunch of students. Okay guys, let's start talking about some of the cons of college. Number one thing that comes up in my head is high cost, depending on the career you're trying to go for. So there's two determining factors to this. One is the amount of years you need to go to college, and two, if you're going in-state or out-of-state. Let's talk about one real quick. So depending on how many years you need, depending on what career you're trying to go for, let's say you're going for a neurosurgeon, that's GG's in the chat. You're going for at least 10 to 12 years of college, and each year gets more expensive depending on what type of courses you need, right? And don't get me started if you're going in-state or out-of-state. If you're going out-of-state, bro, be ready for that thing to double 1.5 to 3 times the amount, right? That's really the biggest premise there, is depending on what career you're trying to go for and how many years you're going to stay there. Especially if you're going there for 4+ years, you're going to be in debt, right? So scholarship is not going to be covering the whole thing. And yeah, number two, is definitely talking about how your job is not guaranteed to you after you graduate. It's not like back in the day how you just go to college and you would figure everything out, right? You would have a job guaranteed and all that. Now there's a lot of degrees out there that you can go for school for 4+ years and not get no job in that career path. It's insane, bro. It's really insane. And number three, I think this is one of the biggest ones also, is hands-on training. I feel like that's very underrated. Not a lot of people will be talking about it, but jobs will be asking for that. Do you have any hands-on training? Do you have any internships that provide you the skills that helps your case to get that job? And a lot of jobs don't. What's called a lot of colleges do not provide that, right? Internships, hands-on training, and stuff like that. So the next path we're going to be talking about is technical school. Low-key kind of biased because I'm in it. But yeah, let's get into the pros here, guys. Lower cost because of faster time to finish. We're looking at 18 to 21 months. So you're looking at 2 years or less than 2 years to finish the school. So you're not paying so much. After that, you have 4 focused classes, okay? You're going to be going in there, not paying no, prerequisite classes. You're going there just to become whatever you're paying for. Best part. Cons, right? There's not a lot of school options out there, and they're very, location focused, okay? If you can't find a school in your place, you probably have to move to another to find it. Another thing that's pretty crazy, I would say, is not a lot of schools are they're not government funded, so a lot of stuff is privately owned. So what does that mean? A lot of the government funded stuff is not allowed. So we're looking at scholarships, grants, right? You're going to probably have to get a loan for these. So that's the only downside, I would say, for the money wise. And then the third thing is the less students means less networking. Very important to find a job in this world is through networking. So yeah, those are some cons and some pros for this. Okay, so now let's talk about the last path here, is getting your certifications through work, right? So benefits is you're getting paid for it. You get real life experience. And when you do get your license, you can theoretically switch your job to something else, to another company or what, and make way more money, right? Some cons. This is the longest one out of all 3 paths to get your certification, because you're not learning the theory, you're learning just the practice. And it's harder to get your certifications because you have to basically buy books that teaches you the theory. So yeah, with that all being said, guys, I hope this gives you a little brief summary of the 3 paths that I feel like it's most important for people to take consideration before just throwing all their eggs in one basket. And I hope this helps you guys out in the future. If you guys like the video, please drop a follow, or not drop a follow, y'all. Please drop us please subscribe, drop a like, and drop a comment. Appreciate it, and I hope you guys stay safe.